Hiya Six, and welcome to Monday's science session. This should be a kind of relatively short video just to get you started, because today's lesson is all about you going and doing some research and some finding out. So there's a document on the website that gives you all the instructions. Hopefully you've already read that, because instruction 1 is coming to watch this video. Then there are some other videos, links to watch, a PowerPoint thing to read through, and a scaffold plan document for you to make notes from if you need a little bit of help in structuring your notes. So we are going to learn all about evolution and Charles Darwin, and we're going to look at this today. We're going to look into it in more depth tomorrow, and then not tomorrow, Wednesday, and then Thursday you are going to make a kind of double page spread or large poster, depending on what you've got at home, all about evolution and bringing it together. So today is a fact finding day, a research day. Okay. So first of all, there are some useful terms here that might help you, and you might want to note them down. If you want to pause and copy them down, you can. If you want to listen to me explain and then just write your own notes, that's fine. So take evolution itself up first. So this is the process by which living things gradually change over time. That's what we're learning about. Adaptation, we will hear that word, and it's going to refer to how living things, animals, plants, are suited, adapt to their environment. Inheritance is how features are passed on from parents to offspring. So it happens with us. You might have the same hair colour or eye colour as your parents, but it also happens with animals. The features are passed down to the children. A species of animals is a group of living things with the same similar characteristics, and variation are the differences between animals in those species. So like I say, I just want to get you started, and then there's videos and different documents to go and watch and go and find out as much as you can about all of this. I wanted to share this book. So Charles Darwin, The Origin of Species. So he wrote a book with his theory of evolution. This is a picture book version by Sabina Radeva, and it's really fab to explain it to you guys. So I just wanted to share a couple of pages of it and just read a little bit from this to get you started so you know what we're talking about. So for most of human history, many people believed that everything in the world was created all at once. They thought that plants, animals, and people were always the same as they are now. But a few different scientists challenged this idea. There was lots of ideas over time about how animals had changed over time, but lots of people weren't quite sure. And then came along Charles Darwin. In 1831, Darwin travelled the globe. Ooh, got to get used to which way the camera works. That's it. So there's Darwin, and he's going on his voyage. He travelled on a ship called the HMS Beagle. And he went to lots of different places, studied the animals and plants there, collected some fossils, and wrote down about everything that he saw, basically, to try to find out more about how animals change and evolve over time. So in his book, Darwin explains that species are groups of living things that look alike and can have babies together. But even if they belong to the same species, no two animals are exactly the same. So there's an example here, not sure how well you can see it actually, of rabbits. So they all look kind of similar, but some are taller, some are shorter, some are slower, some are faster, some are different colours. And that's the variation within the species. Similarly there, I can't quite master that camera. You've got dog breeds. So they're all dogs, but they're all slightly different. There's different breeds. And the same there, you've got pigeons. Similar thing. So same species, different types, variation within species. That's something that Darwin noticed. So one of the places that Darwin went to were the Galapagos Islands. And you'll find out a little bit more about that in some of the videos and things that I've asked you to watch afterwards. He saw these birds, finches, on the Galapagos Islands, and he noticed that they developed different beaks depending on the food that was available to them on the different islands. So those birds living with rough, tough seeds had got large beaks so they could crush them. those living on the island that had soft seeds had a slightly smaller beak. Those that ate flowers had a long, sharp beak to tear them off, and others had a beak that could hold tools for the ones that had to kind of ferret about for their food. So he noticed that within the same species, they had all adapted slightly differently. And now what Darwin thought was, all animals have to struggle to survive. All animals have to try and survive in their environment. And it's the animals that are best suited, best adapted to the environment that will survive. So animals pass on their best characteristics to their children so that their children have the best hope of surviving, okay? And that is what Darwin called natural selection. So some differences help animals survive in the wild. Some help them to hide, to hunt, to live longer, or to have babies. Those babies will then grow to benefit from the helpful differences passed down from the parents. The species is adapting to the world around it. Okay, so they have adapted over time and they pass on the characteristics that are going to help them to survive. So that is a really, really brief overview of what you're going to find out about today. So Darwin's theory of evolution through natural selection, that animals change slightly over time and the best changes that help them survive in the environment are passed on to their children over time. So that's why when we look back further, animals look different to how they look now because things have changed over time. So I hope that's given you a little insight. Go back to the document. I think there's 2 videos to watch. Then there's a PowerPoint about Darwin's life to read through. Make loads and loads of notes and keep them safe for later in the week when we're going to need them, okay? You can do some of your own research aside from the videos and things I've got as well if it's something that you're interested in. So just make a whole load of notes. If you're not sure where to begin, then at the bottom of the document there's a planning sheet and you can just fill in that planning sheet, or you can take the headers from there so that you know what to do. Okay, look forward to seeing all the research that you do. Save it for a science lesson later this week, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Thanks for watching.